Alright, today we're looking at a improvement of my Capybara Mark III. I wanted to see if I could stretch it out a little bit, add some hab space, and see if I could boost the cargo. And I think I was able to succeed on all those points. Uh, the original ship had room for seven 2x1 habs. This one has room for nine 2x1 habs. I think the original had 8,000, like 230 ish cargo, and I think this is just short of 8,300, so slightly more cargo, but still that's an improvement because the ship is longer, and by making the ship longer you have to use mass, and it's just a matter of getting things in the correct order or space to maximize your efficiency. Anyways, let me get down here. We'll take it apart, and we'll see how it works. I'm going to do something a little different this time. I'm going to do a little tour first before I tear it down. I've got these two PBO 300 cannons mounted on either side, some PBO 175s, and or four PBO 175s autos, and the Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors. I have 6 of those. The engines are the SAL 6830s. These are the most powerful engines in the game, and you get those from doing the All That Money Can Buy quest from Stroud. I got a shit ton of these DeGamma either 1020 or 1010 cargo holds. 6 of these landing gears holding it up, and of course I always end up using the same landing bay just because it works so good, the Shipbed 200. If we go inside, well, I mean, I couldn't do it because of the way it's set up, but I got a ladder. Basically it's one ladder that goes all the way to the top.
Your ship smells so much better than Dad's. Like, a lot.
Wish we could shoot her. So deck 1 is just the living quarters. Get out of or get back into first person. I can't move in third person. So this is where the crew will sleep. These two halves down here on the bottom. If you look up, you got a ladder that goes all the way up, almost. Deck 2 is the dining facility, or mess hall.
I would be happy to show her a few things.
I will consider that. Maybe. Thanks, I think.
If we go up to deck 3, you can also go to the cockpit here from the bottom, using the bottom entrance, and then of course the top up here, and there's stairs and the cabin bridges that can take you down to either deck. That'd be deck 2 and deck 3 you have access to from the bridge. So this is deck 3. We'll have the battle station here where the crew works. And this is just a break room for the crew while they're working. They can come in here and make some coffee or whatever. Don't think there's a bathroom in here. No. So they'll have to go up to a different deck if they want to use the bathroom. So this is the only ladder that isn't part of that one, and it's because it can't be part of that one. And I'll show you why when I tear the ship down. This hab is further back away from the main ladder, so it has no access. This is also a living quarters. Bathroom up here. So all in all, there's 8 bunks. There's 8 crew members, or there can be up to 8 crew members, so everybody would have their own bunk, which is nice. But it's a pretty straightforward layout. I seriously have been trying to get this one ladder like this to work, because this deck 2 for some reason was the problem. This door kept disappearing, and then it would have the ladder in here, and it would go up to the stupid next level or whatever, and it was just, like I said, no matter what I did, it kept screwing up, and I was probably about 60 seconds away from hanging myself, and then I finally got this set up to where it is now, to where it works, and I'm happy with that.
Anything I can help you with? Okay, no problem.
This little color that I came up with was by accident. I was messing around and I accidentally hit the slider bar, and it's got this saturation is what I accidentally hit, and I kind of liked the way it looked, so I just left it. I'm calling this ship the Atlas. It's got 8,285 cargo, which is the highest that I've managed to squeeze into a ship that's not really a gimmick ship. I have had some ships that were higher, but they were all kind of not really feasible to use as a day-to-day driver. The reason that ladder doesn't go all the way to the top is because I use these companionways, Stroud companionways. And they go all the way down. Well, actually the deck 2 and deck 3, and then the living quarters right there. But it doesn't have any access, so you can't go all the way to deck 3 up here. 1, 2, 3. Actually, deck 4. This would be deck 4. So that's why the ladder was back farther, because it just, there's no access because this thing is sitting on top of the thing. And just, that would just look dumb sitting there like that. So we're not doing that. I have errors and I didn't even change anything. I hate this game sometimes. There we go, we're nominal. So, as I said before, I used 4 of these PBO 300 auto alpha beams, 4 of the PBO 175 auto helium beams, and 6 of the Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors. So I have one A-class weapon, or the group of A-class weapons, one group of B-class weapons, and one group of C-class weapons. So I know it seems counterintuitive. You think, well, we want all C-class weapons. It doesn't matter because a lot of these B-class weapons are actually more powerful than a lot of their C-class counterparts. So it's like these Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors, because you can have 6 of them, and they fire so fast. Actually, I don't even know which one is the group 1. So it's 120. So it's actually not even far behind the DPS of the PBO 300s, which is a C-class weapon. So, and I haven't tested this in combat, but I'm sure it's going to shred everything. So, anyways, I think for internal cargo, did I actually? Let me take the top off real quick and take a look at something. I did make one concession. That's actually a downgrade from my previous ship, and that's the shield generator. I use this 28T Defender from Dogstar. It's 1500 max shield health. My older ship had the Assurance 1800, which is 1600, but it weighs a lot more, like a lot more. It's like 70 tons more, and that's a lot. You can do a lot with 70 tons, or 70 kilograms, or whatever the hell metric they use in this game for weight. It's probably kilograms. I've hid the conduction grid down in here, the shield generators down here, and I've got a single H30 Atlas HE tank. I thought I was being slick earlier. I used some smaller fuel tanks, and I did my usual testing I fly down to Eridani, which is all the way on the left side of the map, and then I plot a course all the way to the right side. I don't remember the name of the, like Boar or something, and that's the farthest jump that requires the most fuel. It was like 270 something. So I thought I was being slick, and I was like, oh yeah, I can use a smaller fuel tank and save space. And I forgot that I had Sarah on board, and she reduces the fuel cost by 50%. So that screwed me, because I don't use her in my calculations when I do fuel, because I don't always travel with crew members on board. In fact, I often don't have anybody on board. So I had to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to shoehorn this thing in here. So I needed 300, let me check my notes, 374 fuel, which I needed like 200 and something before when I had Sarah on board, so it went up by quite a bit. Anyways, I used this single H30, and it didn't increase the weight that much. I think it was like, don't know, 12 tons or something, but that's still, you know, it's got to come from somewhere. So I had to downgrade one of these De Gamma cargo holds. A lot of them are 1020s. So this one was a 1020 and I just made it a 1010. That's one of the good things about these side-mounted cargo holds, especially the De Gamma ones. There's 3 different versions, a 10 or a 1000, 1010, and a 1020. But they're all the same size, so you can interchange these, and it doesn't change the aesthetic of the build. And of course, as always, I have my standard Nova braking engines. I don't know, I just like the way they look, and I think I put them on just about every ship I've ever built. But that's about it. Another thing that was different is I've added these wings. They're not really necessary. You know, it's not like I needed them to hold the engines on like those GT230s. These actually connect from the front. So these don't really do anything. They're just for looks. Plus they mount all the weapons on here. By doing it this way, I was able to keep everything off the top of the ship other than this stupid thing, this comm spike. But that fits in pretty good here. It's got this little square area right there on this nose shroud. So I can't paint it though. It's very unfortunate. Hitting J just does nothing. Anyways, let me take this thing apart. I'll show you how it goes together, hopefully, if I don't forget, and we'll go from there. Alright, I got this thing disassembled. I'm going to be reassembling this deck by deck. So all this crap right down here is going to be deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, and deck 4. So we start at the bottom, deck 1, with the ship bed 200 landing bay from Tayo. Behind it, we're going to have 2 of these Stroud living quarters, 2x1. We'll just connect them together like that. On either side of this first living quarters, 2x1, we're going to connect 2 of the Nova braking engines, port and starboard. The ship uses 6 of the NG-20 landing gears in their wide configuration. And they go just like that. These De Gamma 1010 cargo holds. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do the cargo holds last, or later. Start off with deck 2. This Stroud companionway 1x1 will go right on the top of the first hab. And all the habs are going to be Stroud. And then behind the 1x1 Stroud companionway, we're going to put a Stroud mess hall 2x3, just like that. And we're going to leave this section, these cavities back here open, because that's where the reactor and the grav drive are going to go. Let's see. We'll put our 2 Galleon S203 cargo holds. One goes right there. Hang on a second, I think I'm messing that up. Alright, give me just a second. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I see what I'm doing. Alright, so this Stroud mess hall will go here, 2x3. It leaves these open back here, and these 2 De Gamma. That's not how it goes. There we go. You want the little attach point facing outwards. So it's 2 Galleon S203 cargo holds, and we'll just stick them in there like that. Yeah, I guess you could stick them on like that. I guess it doesn't really matter because this is all going to be covered up. You're not going to see these little slopes. And then, like I said, we're going to hook up all these cargo holds last. So on top of this, we're going to go with 2 more Galleon S203 cargo holds. And I've got it so this one slopes down, so it forms like a nice little connection with the one below it. And we'll put the other one just like that. Same thing. This 1x1 Stroud companionway will go on top of the other 1x1 companionway. And directly behind that, we'll use a Stroud battle station 2x2. And a Stroud living quarters 2x1. Now we can hook up our DC 403 fuser reactor. Put that there. And we're using a Apollo GV200 grav drive. By the way, this grav drive is really powerful, and it has like the lowest mass of like nearly all the really good grav drives. It's only 120, and a lot of the other ones are like 20 tons more, which is it kind of, there should never really be a reason not to use this grav drive at the high levels. So inside this cavity here, we're using it to hide, whoops. We're going to put our conduction grid on a horizon weapon mount, and we'll stick it down there. On the other side, we're going to put our 28T Defender shield generator from Dogstar. And then above that, we're going to put a single H-30 Atlas HE-3 tank. Alright. I guess at this point we can hook up our wings. I'm using a Deimos Wing A, a Deimos Wing B, and another Deimos Wing A that's facing backwards. That doesn't look right, does it? I don't think this is hooked up right. Oh, I see what it's doing. It's hooked up to this stupid thing. Is there really that much of a gap in the reactor? Oh. What the hell is this thing doing? Something's wrong here. It's this guy. Alright, there we go. That bottom. Why is this not hooking up right? We got a gap in here for some reason. What's going on? Let's see. That is not correct. There we go. I don't know. What the hell is happening here? Alright, give me a second to figure this out. Alright, we're back. I don't know why it was getting hung up like that, but now I've got it. Everything appears to be attached correctly. No gaps. That was weird. I don't know what was causing that. So we'll put our fuser DC 403 reactor back in, and our Apollo GV200. Now we have that cavity I was talking about earlier. We're going to hook up the conduction grid. The conduction grid will fit in like this, but the comm spike won't. It pokes up just a little bit too high, so I won't be able to get the piece on top of it. But the conduction grid is short enough that it does fit. So since I already had that slot open for the shield, it makes sense to, you know, hide something else in there. And then I have the HE-30 tank. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about this, let me see something. I didn't even think about this because I did change this later. I had earlier, or before, I had something above this before I put the fuel tank down here. Yeah, look at that. So that will fit in there, and the comm spike will fit below it. So ignore what I said earlier. This actually does work. I can put the comm spike in here and not have it on top anymore. Kudos. So now we can put the wing on. We'll do the same thing for the other side. And let's see, what can we do next? I guess we can hook up some of the engines. So these are those SAL 6830s. These are the big dogs. I can't hook this one up yet because there's nothing to hook it up to. So we'll go ahead and do deck 3, which is really just the single hab. And then now we can hook up our 6th engine Now I have these cowling, Stroud cowling 1LAs. And then the fronts, I'm using Stroud Cap A's. And then the centerpiece is going to be a Stroud Nose Cap B. I thought about putting 2 habs on either side of this. And you can do that because these things are 5 tons each. And these are only 8, so I could have another hab here. But I don't know, I didn't like the way that looked. And I already have all the hab space I need. So the ship bed at 200, I don't know why that was, oh, I was playing with that stupid hab that was messed up earlier. So that's already hooked up. Our bridge is going to be a Cabot C4. It hooks on just like that. We're going to put the 100 DP Slim Docker. And it's going to be the, facing down. Right there, directly behind the ship bed 200. And either side, under the chin of this ship bed, we're going to hook up our Class A weapons, which are these Vanguard Obliterator autoprojectors. And one set will go there. You can't put the Class C weapons up here, they're too big. You can put one on the bottom, but the top is too big. It'll be bumping into the cockpit. So that's 4 of our Vanguard Obliterator autoprojectors, and the other 2 is on the rear of this wing, under the wing. So there's 1 and 2, so that makes 6 total. And the other 2 slots are a PBO 175, 175, 175, and 175. So there's 4 PBO 175 auto helium beams. And it doesn't matter that they're all in line with each other. The game doesn't care about that. Let's see, we'll go ahead and start hooking up our DeGammas. I got a whole bunch of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 total. 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 total, sorry. So 6 on each side. Yeah. Confusing myself there for a second. I'll go over all these cargo holds in just a second. Alright. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 20, 20, 20. So over here it's 3 10, 10 the gamma cargo holds and 3 10, 20 cargo holds. And on this side, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. It's all 10, 10 cargo holds. So it's 6 on this side of the 10, 10 Dig Gamma cargo holds. Now we got to hook up our last thing here, and that's these PBO 300 alpha beams, auto alpha beams. And they're going to go on these Galleon S203s. That's why I had the attach point facing outwards. And now the ship is nominal. So it's kind of got this, I'm not even sure what this color would be called, like rustic looking color to it. I don't know, it's something different from the normal gray that I go with. But like I said before, it's 8,285, which is really high. 8 crew members, 30 light year jump range, 100 mobility, 130 top speed. The max mass for the ship is 4,275 before the mobility drops down to 99. And we can test that by just adding a 1-ton mass. We'll just try this weapons horizon mount. Mobility goes down to 99. So I've utilized every bit of mass that I can and still keep the 100 mobility. If you didn't know how it works for the mass, it's if you use 6 of these SAL 6830s, it's always going to be 4,275. So the maximum mass before the mobility drops down below 100 is always going to be dependent on which engines you use. It's always the same. If you use the same combination of engines. And I've gotten a little list over here. Like if I use actually I don't have the list with me, it's somewhere else. But depending on the engines I use, it's always the same. So I know how much mass. And if you don't know, you can just start adding. Once you go over 100 mobility, then you just start deleting stuff until you just figure out what it is, which is how I originally did it. It's pretty easy. I like that these Nova braking engines are recessed. Like I didn't stick them directly on the sides of the. Like I used to put them on there like that all the time. And they kind of poked out a little bit, but I kind of like the way that they look recessed in there like that. So the main thing here that's different from the old one, like I said, was that shield generator. You only lose 100 shield health, which is really negligible. But I'm able to extend the ship's length and add extra hab space. So I went from 7 to 9, increased the cargo from, I don't remember what the old ship was. It was like, actually, you know what, I can bring it up here. 8,220. So, what is that, 65 difference? 65 kilograms of cargo difference. And yeah, like I said, I have a lot of fun making these as efficient as I can. I thought about removing the wings and just having horizon weapons mounts along the sides here, but yeah, I like this. These gives it a nice, I don't know, swept back look to the wings. Anyways, let me get out of here. Let me take a look and see if I can tell how much this thing costs. 696,389 credits, so it's expensive. The reactor I used isn't the most powerful, but it's close. I think it's what happened here? It's 38 power, whereas the most powerful one would give me 40, so it's only 2 power difference. And I said the shields earlier were just slightly less powerful than the most powerful ones, but it's not going to make a difference. This thing's just going to blow through everybody. This is basically like a cargo hauler. And let's get into orbit.
Have any new books for me?
Take off in the middle of a torrential downpour with lightning. That's probably not safe.
Waiting on your word, Captain.
It's kind of funny that I put these ships on Reddit. These are by far my most popular ship designs, even though I like doing some of my other designs that they're a little bit like more gaudy looking, but they don't get as much attention. That's okay. Let's go into the okay, so I have Samco on board and I have the payloads skill maxed out. So that gives us 14,353 cargo, which is pretty substantial for a ship. It's not maxed out. It's only, 28 meters here, times 2 for the, because it goes both ways. And I could have made this, completely, longer, but like I said, extending the length means you got to add more mass somewhere in between, and it takes away from the cargo. And excuse me, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have this thing as much cargo as I could cram into it. And when I make these ships, they have to be usable. Like, I'm not going to make a gimmick ship that's just basically a flying box of cargo, with like one gun on it, like I see a lot of people online doing. I won't do that. So they have to have shields that are powerful. The guns maxed out always. I never have any guns that's not the group that's not maxed out power. And yeah, so it's just I'm not going to make some kind of and I also don't do glitch builds, so this is a completely vanilla stock build. And I'm not knocking people that make glitch builds because I've seen some really, really nice looking glitch builds. It's just not something I personally like to do. It just doesn't feel, I feel like I'm cheating a little bit, but it's okay. It's like I said, it's a single player game, so who cares? We're going to jump to Serpentis, do some combat trials.
Grav jump spinning down. Will you just look at those stars?
You shall be judged.
They've got no shields. Go get them.
We've taken out their grav drive.
Oops. Don't do this to me. There we go. Go to the hostile activity area. Maybe we get 4 of them at the same time. Yeah, out of there. I thought about trying to put some turrets on here, but decided not to.
Target's grav drive is down.
Target's grav drive is down. There goes their engines. Whoopsie.
Is this, yeah, it's just debris. Let's try one more. It's that sensor contact. It never goes away.
You have met your doom.
It's just one.
Nailed their grav drive.
So anyways, like space combat is super easy in this game now. Even when they increase the difficulty for the higher NG pluses, I still find it to be really easy. But like I said, I have all my skills maxed out on the space combat tree, except for these robotics thing, which is that doesn't have anything to do with space combat, and I think it's pretty useless as a skill. Are those ships, or is that just something I blew up earlier? I was out here testing this earlier, so.
Bam! Down goes their grav drive. I hope they didn't need that grav drive.
Anyways, like I said, this is super redundant as far as combat. It's super easy. That's what I was saying earlier. Don't let the fact that I'm using A-class and B-class weapons on a C-class ship fool you. It doesn't make any difference. They're like, those weapons are very powerful, and I think they're just as powerful as any of the C-class weapons. So let me get this pointed down a little bit. We'll boost and hit the brakes and get a nice little glamour shot. Sorry it's so choppy. I've been having this problem lately with when I have OBS open, it does this. But it's a pretty simple ship. There's not a lot of pieces to it. But I like simple ships. You can really maximize your efficiency by not having a million little like radiators and wings and tails and whatnot on there. Let's see if I can get a shot under it. I wish there was like a light we could shine on down here. You really can't see anything. There's 2 halves down there. It's pretty clean. There really isn't anything down there. But yeah, I'm happy with the way this came out. Like I said, there's nothing new to this ship build. I've already built a ship like this. It just wasn't as long, and I wanted to see if I could improve on it. I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to make any differences to it, but it worked out pretty good. And yeah, this is probably one of my more favorite ships that I built so far, and I'm happy with the way it came out. I hope you